Hey, what up, guys? So, coming to you this morning, apologize for the lack of the first quarter top tens. I am glad to see I got a lot of views on the two previews that I did for the Crawford fight and especially for the Canelo Jacobs fight. Appreciate you guys watching those. Today, I'm coming at you with the April TV schedule. So, again, I don't put out all the fights that are going to be on because there's a lot of fights that you wouldn't be interested in at all. I do guys that are primarily top 10 guys or, working their way to top 10s or significant names, like old school names, something like that, or guys you should be watching like Shakur Stevenson, guys like that. If they were to be on a card, those guys are on the rise. They got a lot of talent. You want to watch them coming up. So let's get into the April TV schedule. A lot of big names, a lot of big fights going on this month that you're going to want to check out. We kick it off with Friday, April 12th. On ESPN, you're going to see Vasily Lomachenko return in the main event. He's going to be taking on former WBA lightweight champ Anthony Crolla from the United Kingdom. Lomachenko's defending his unified belts. He's got two of them, the WBA, WBO titles. Big-time fight right here in the main event. As he's trying to get Crolla out of the way, who's a mandatory, as he pushes forward to a possible showdown, trying to unify more belts, possibly even getting a guy like Mikey Garcia in the ring or bigger fights just in general. On the undercard, you got Gilberto Ramirez. He's undefeated, current super middleweight champion. He's moving up to 175, though, to test the waters out up there against former world title challenger Tommy Karpency. Should be a decent fight. That's this Friday. I'll give my preview. Probably tomorrow, I'll probably give my preview on what I think is going to happen in this fight. That way you guys have a couple days to watch it. And, it should be good this Friday at ESPN. Now, on Saturday the 13th, there's two different cards coming. First, on DAZN, it's basically got one big fight on that card. It's going to be Jaime Munguia, the reigning and undefeated WBO super welterweight champ that's 154 pounds. He's making his mandatory defense against Australian Dennis Hogan. Again, this one's in the main event of a DAZN card. If you haven't seen Munguia fight, he's a good 21, 22-year-old undefeated champ. He's very entertaining, punches really hard, and has a chance to end the fight at any moment. So make sure to check him out on that card right there. Also that night, we're going to see a doubleheader on Fox Sports 1. You got, on the undercard, you got a middleweight eliminator. It's going to see Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's the guy that just challenged Danny Jacobs back in October, gave him a pretty good fight, came up short against Jacobs for the title. He's taking on Jack Culcay, former 154-pound champ, in a title eliminator. The winner is going to be in line to fight Jacobs. So Culcay's a guy who's been in the ring with Demetrius Andrade, pretty solid fighter. Derevyanchenko, there's a battle between two guys that are right around the top 10 at middleweight, so it should be a good one. In the main event, it's Peter Kid Chocolate Quillen against former super middleweight champ Caleb Truax. Now, these guys are fighting also in an eliminator at 168 with the winner to be in line for Caleb Plant. Peter Quillen hasn't done much since the Danny Jacobs fight a few years ago, so he's trying to really put himself back in the mix. He's a former champ at middleweight. Caleb Truax, trying to also bounce back into things. So this should be a pretty solid main event, and pretty solid card right there coming up this Saturday, April 13th on Fox Sports 1. Then on Saturday, April 20th, we got two very big cards coming at you. First on Fox, you're going to have a big card happening where it's Danny Garcia taking on Adrian Granados in the main event. Big fight right here. Granados is a straightforward, come-at-you type fighter. Danny Garcia is one of the top welterweights in the world, which is the best division in boxing. Should be a good one. On the undercard, you're going to see Brandon Figueroa, undefeated fighter at 122. That's Omar Figueroa's little brother. He's taking on some guy named Yanfrez Parejo. It's for an interim title at 122 pounds. This guy's entertaining as fuck. You guys really need to watch Brandon Figueroa. And then also on that card, a big heavyweight fight. Andy Ruiz, former world title challenger, taking on Alexander Dimitrenko. This is a big-time heavyweight fight. Andy Ruiz fought for a title a couple years ago, came up a little short in Joseph Parker's home country in New Zealand. We'll get more into that when I preview this fight, but big heavyweight fight right here. And it's just a big card on Fox, and I really am looking forward to that one. Also that night on ESPN pay-per-view, we got a big card. In the main event, it's Terrence Crawford defending his WBO welterweight title against Amir Khan. You know, big-time fight right here. Two big names. Crawford on the top of the pound-for-pound list right there with Lomachenko. So, big fight. Then on the undercard, you got Shakur Stevenson taking on former world title challenger Christopher Diaz. This is the biggest fight of Stevenson's career. He's taking on a guy who fought for a world title last year in Diaz, who's a tough fighter who's coming down from 130. Big fight for both guys right there. Can't wait. And then Teofimo Lopez is also on the undercard. This guy is a superstar on the rise. You want to watch him fight. Undefeated, very entertaining, a lot of power, can box. He's got the whole package. They're talking a possible future fight with Lomachenko with him. He's taking on former world title challenger Edis Totley. So just a big card. Two big cards on April 20th. Check those out. Then April 26th on DAZN, there's a big DAZN card. Now, this isn't the main event. The main event is a 118-pound bantamweight fight. But you got a title unification bout taking place at 122 pounds at super bantamweight. Daniel Roman, the WBA champ, taking on undefeated IBF champ TJ Doheny. Big fight right here, unifying belts. Remember, unifying belts is huge, guys. I don't care if the guys have big names or not. It's to establish dominance in a division when you unify titles. Can't wait to see that one. That should be good. Then there's to close out the month, two big cards on Saturday, April 27th. First on DAZN, the World Boxing Super Series returns. You got two fights. The main event's going to be Kiro Relic taking on Regis Prograis. This is the 140 pound Super World Boxing Super Series right here. Semi-final match. It's for the WBA junior welterweight title, which is the 140-pound title. Big-time fight in Prograis, who's undefeated, his backyard in New Orleans. Kiro Relic's a good, hard, straightforward fighter. This is going to be a good fight. Winner goes to the finals. Prograis's the #1 seed. Relic came in as a 3 seed. So big-time fight right here. Can't wait to see that one. On the undercard, you got Nonito Donaire, who scored an upset in the first round and captured the WBA title. He's unifying titles against WBO champion Zolani Tete. This is going to be another semifinal. It's a semifinal at 118 pounds, which is bantamweight. It's bantamweight, regular bantamweight. So this is going to be a good one. Donaire still has enough to make things interesting, and Tete is a good, entertaining fighter too. So big fight on DAZN that night. World Boxing Super Series returning. You're going to want to check that out. Also that night on Showtime, there's a big card taking place. Not super big names, but it should be a good card. In the main event, you got Robert Easter Jr., former lightweight champ. He fought Mikey Garcia last year. He's taking on Rances Barthelemy for a vacant lightweight title. Barthelemy's a former 2-division champ. He's a well-known fighter. Should be a good one right here, a pretty good matchup. And then on the undercard, you got Victor Postal, former world champ, been in the ring with Terrence Crawford a few years ago, knocked out Lucas Matisse. He's taking on Mohamed Mamoune in a title eliminator to get in line for a world title shot. So, you know, guys, some of these guys you might not know, but others you do know. And just a good month of boxing right here. Every weekend is going to be good, and I highly recommend you watch all these and set your timer and your dates right so you can check out some good-ass fights taking place. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll come back with one of my top 10s. I'll finish off my first quarter top 10s. I still got, I think 8 divisions to go through. I'll knock those out, and I hope you guys keep watching. All right, True Boxing, been hit with the truth.